Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Toby McGuire.
Good evening, Superintendent, school board, and guests. My name is Toby McGuire. I have 3 children growing up in the Lewisville schools. One will be starting 9th grade next year. My wife and myself and my son were very excited to begin the 2011-2012 school year at the new campus at the south end of town. However, with the board's postponement of the boundary decision last meeting, our excitement has turned to concern and worry. I understand that the LISD Board of Trustees has been informed and gathered information from the Farmer Focus Group to help with the transition of the 2 910 LHS campuses for the educational betterment of the students of Lewisville. This focus group is made up of community members, parents, teachers, and administrators. At the incoming 9th grader night that was held at Killow, both principals slated to be at the 910 campuses spoke highly of having this campus system. They explained how having 2 years in this type of system helps students mature so that when they reach the 11-12 campus, their mind focused more on college and future prospects rather than the toil of school. Also, they explained how students would be able to take a pre-AP course offered at the next grade level without changing campuses. By being able to offer more courses, this will cut down busing time and leave more class time for our students. There's also the fact that these 2 principals have better than 20 years in education with teaching and administration. When you back a recommendation to have 2 910 campuses with that much experience, why would anyone look to change the plan? I also have been in touch with some of the members of the Farmer Focus Committee. They recently visited schools modeled after the 910 system. They have reported back with very encouraging news about the success of the system. In addition to instilling leadership qualities in the student, there's an emphasis on academics with a higher graduation rate and college enrollment than of the current plan. This is encouraging information to parents like myself in the Lewisville school system. Another point I would like to make is that of a financial matter. Busing is an important and necessary issue to be considered. Not only the cost, but the amount of time a student spends on the bus is less time in class, at home, study groups, or spent with school-supported extracurricular activities. With the Killow campus as it is now, there are students that spend 45 minutes to over an hour on the bus to and from home. By having the campuses being fed by the areas closest to them, this time the time the students are on the bus will be cut roughly in half. Many more students will be within walking distance to 910 campus, and thus...
Sorry. Thank you. The next name I have is Mr. Reginald Johnson.
Good evening. As she said, my name is Reginald Johnson, and I'm very pleased to announce that as today, I'm going to be a candidate for the LISD School Board. The second thing that I'd like to say is the LISD is a wonderful place. I've had 2 children in the LISD. I consider this whole thing a wonderful family, a great place to raise children. I'd even offer to say that most people here want to be here. And us being a family, I guess that would make all the schools and their cousins. So we should be very pleased when our cousins are doing well in sports and academia, in band and dance, when they're going to state and softball, when they're winning volleyball championships. And I am just as pleased as punch that we'll have a team in Austin representing LISD. That said, the 9th and 10th grade campus to me is separating our family. When I think about that, I think of one word over and over, that's consistency. 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 We're taking children from middle school, putting them in the 9th and 10th grade center, where they'll learn new teachers, they'll have new principals, they'll have new counselors. When they get comfortable, with those people who know them as well, we're going to pull them out of there. And we're going to put them in another school. While they're worrying about SATs and ACTs, now they have to learn new principals, new counselors, new teachers who may not know them. I don't think that is what we want to do. You talk to any teacher and they'll tell you a kid that moves around, if we could just get some consistency, I think he'd do well. Why would we make it inconsistent for people in high school who are planning their future at a very pivotal time? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Bowie is our next card. Tamara.
Thank you.
Ms. Bowie.
First, I would like to welcome Dr. Waddell to our wonderful school district. Second, I would like to thank the board for taking the time to explore other options for LHS. I am here today because I have one concern. I am on board with all the new academic programs and initiatives that are slated to be implemented for the new 9-10 students. My only concern is why haven't these programs already been in place at our current LHS high schools? If they're going to be so successful at the proposed 9-10 campuses to help raise tax scores, to prevent and lower the dropout rates, then what is preventing these programs from being successful with our current high school model? Since the academic programs, initiatives, and smaller learning communities are merely concepts of teaching and learning techniques, and not a machine that takes up square footage, what is the academic purpose of having 3 school buildings? Cannot the same academic learning programs and concepts be had in the same existing building? We must remember that it is not the building that teach, but the teachers that teach children. In closing, we have a golden ed opportunity at hand, and that is to work together as a community, a district, a board, and an administration to do what is best for the students at LHS, our wonderful district as a whole, and our gloomy budget deficit. Let's build LHS Maine to house grades 10 through 12 with smaller learning communities built within for the 10th graders, leave our 9th grade campus alone, and the 3040 campus can be the new Dale Jackson Learning Center. And since I have 55 minutes left, I just want to say, I'm looking out here, and just like Reggie said, we are a community. I see us all starting to be divided with all this. And it has to stop. We are adults, and this is what we are showing our children how to behave. We need to come together and make this work for everybody. You guys, when you guys became teachers in administration, y'all made a vow to take care of our children and to keep our children's interests at best. I understand everybody wants to be gainfully employed, but let's think about our children. That's all I ask. And it hurts to see us divided as a community. That's all I have to say. Everybody be blessed.
Thank you. Next card I have